Hi everyone, today we have the 2023 Lexus RX 500h. This car is all-wheel drive. It has two electric motors, one in the front, one in the rear. The rear electric motor powers the rear axle alone, and this has a 2.4 liter inline 4 cylinder turbocharged engine. Paired with those electric motors, those two electric motors, this is a very, in my opinion, more fun to drive than the base X5 and the base Mercedes GLE, but not the base Cayenne, in my opinion. We're gonna go ahead and pop the hood. This is my parents' vehicle, but this is what I daily drive at the moment, and it's a pretty decent car. It's not bad. Not trying to sound ungrateful or anything. It's a nice car, but there's a lot of positive and a lot of negatives about it, and I want to get into it, especially at this price point. The MSRP on this vehicle is $72,000. I will go ahead and show you the sticker, but first let me also show you the key fob. You have obviously lock, unlock, trunk, panic, and this looks like the same key fob as the LC500 back in the day in 2018 when they came out with it. Now all of the Lexus cars have this key fob. It's pretty okay. They should update it, to be honest, but this car is a pig stock. I apologize, I have to go out and clean it. But this is the sticker, and I'm a little ticked off when we got the vehicle because this was not optioned with the premium Mark Levinson audio system. My last old Lexus RX 350 with the V6, it was also F Sport, red interior, outside black, very pretty much similar to this car, besides, you know, the updated powertrain. That had the Mark Levinson, and it sounded absolutely fantastic for the price point. I mean, really solid. That price was what, I think it was $45, that car new, but we didn't buy it new, we got it lightly used, which I think you should do with all cars. You should get them all lightly used, because you can get just a huge discount, save tens of thousands of dollars. But anyways, this is the sticker right here, 70K. Somebody there? No? Okay. 70K. For that price, I think this car is lacking a lot of things, and it has a lot of flaws. First thing I'll mention, well, we're not at this part yet, and I don't want to cut up this video. I want to make it one take, just to, you know, I mean, I'll edit if I have to, but I spent a long time editing a lot of videos, and I just want to make this a smooth explanation. So this this door handle, it's electronic, and if you hear it, it's unlocking. To make it, if this fails, it's physical. You do it 2 times for it to open physically. This electronic door handle is a nuisance. It's really a terrible design. Even Audi and the Volkswagen Group still have physical door handles. I think this is silly. I think they shouldn't have done an electronic door handle. It's not well incorporated, and there's no need for it. Don't change something that works. Don't reinvent the wheel. They're very kind of frustrating. Everybody who's gotten in this car is like, how do you use this? Even when you get used to it, because when you push it, it doesn't work right away sometimes. Sometimes when you're in the driver's side and you park, you got to do it twice, and it's just, how nice would it have been if they just figured out, I know the tweeter goes here for the Mark Levinson if you option it, but figure out a nice, you know, a beautiful door handle of craft, and you can just pop it open like a regular car, like those LC or even Lexus ES door handles, how they're kind of like this silver grooved handle. That looks nice, and they should have done something like that. It's not the best, but anyways, that's one thing, and there's a lot of other things I wanted to get into. So there's a Chevy Blazer, a competitor to this vehicle, another tourer SUV. Look at the powertrain. It is like I said, an inline 4, 2.4 liter. Same, pretty much similar engine as a Toyota Camry, except it has a turbocharger on top. I'm not gonna pop I popped there's nothing much to see under this cover. I can pop it off, but this takes, I'll show you what kind of gas this takes, which is, it's very unfortunate it takes this kind of gas. It is premium gas. Let's go ahead and show that. And by the way, on the old last generation RX, you never had a button like the rest of Toyotas to pop the fuel filter. You just had to push on it and it would open for you, and then of course the cap. I wish they had capless fuel filters, but they just don't, because different countries have regulations. You know, the Acura and the Hondas have them. It's unfortunate that a lot of premium brands, BMW, you know, Porsche, they don't have it either. So not a big deal. You just unscrew it, whatever, but still sucks. So premium unleaded fuel. I think this, me and my brother had an argument. You know, he was like, always put premium fuel in this car. If it requires it, requires it. I think it's a sin to put premium fuel in something that's an inline 4. I think it's very silly, because this car even though it has 2 hybrid motors, the motors are for, is this still recording? Sorry, I'm gonna make sure it is. The 2 hybrid motors are for power. They're not necessarily for fuel efficiency. So the issue is, you average 20 miles to the gallon around like 21 on the freeway. It's right around those figures. When you drive it hard, you know, it's like 20. You're having, it's not great, the fuel figures, and it's better than the V6 RX in my opinion. It is, but the fuel tank size is also relatively small. This is a smaller vehicle compared to like the, I believe it's called MLB platform with the Cayenne, the Q8, the Urus. Those cars are a little bit longer, even though they're both tour SUVs, and they have a bigger fuel tank. They have like 22 gallons, and this is only a 15 gallon fuel tank. So you're only averaging about a full tank 350 miles in this vehicle, compared to, you know, compared to like a Audi Q8, which is, or an SQ8, which is I think like 450 miles you get in that. But those are obviously big German twin turbo V8s, which are wonderful powertrains, but they're fuel hungry. And this is a good balance between performance and fuel efficiency, because this isn't a plug-in. You can drive this as a regular gasoline car. That's what's nice about it. You get both. But I wanted to mention, you know, there's no battery here. It's in the trunk if you want to jump it, which, you know, or jump another car. So I'm trying to think, is there anything else? Hood struts as expected. Yeah, I believe that's yeah. But going back to the premium fuel thing, look, I get it, maybe it calls for it, but a lot of cars, they have computers that modulate what kind of fuel you put in. I'm not saying put diesel in this thing, I'm just saying it can handle regular gas. This mileage on this vehicle has 52,000 miles, and we'll take a look right here. I haven't had any issues as far as how it drives. When you put premium gas in here, it is more faster, I will say that, because probably you get the full performance from that 2.4 liter. But yeah, it's not saying it. 52,000 miles. Okay, you see it. Anyways, the engine started. Anyways. So this also has double pane acoustic glass. I will show you in a minute that as well. Pretty much the only options this vehicle is missing: digital key and the Mark Levinson audio system. Other than that, this is a fully loaded RX 500, and I do love the copper crest color they did for 23. And the 23 RX, they redesigned it completely. If you didn't know, 22 was the last generation, and I think this is in a lot of ways a positive redesign. There are some nice things missing from the last generation RX that they didn't carry on in this one. You know, steering feel is one of them, which I get that's probably going to change with every generation of a car, but couple things that you know, you drive the old RX, you might prefer more. But as an overall package, this is a better product. I just think you're gonna have to pay for it compared to the last RX. I mean, even the RX 350 with just a turbocharged 4-cylinder, it's you know, I think the V6 was a better value. So, and it was cheaper. The tires on these ones, these are snow tires. I gotta change them now. We're in Michigan, and I gotta change them now. It is becoming, you know, summer, spring now. I don't think we're getting another snowfall, so they need to be swapped out. They're pretty good in the winter. I highly recommend snow tires. They make a huge difference. These are 20-inch wheels, and the size is, these are studless, which I kind of wish they're studded, but 235 55 R20. Even without studs, they're still really great. So, yep, 235 55 R20. And what annoys me is these aftermarket wheel locks. They're for all of them. So you can't change out. You need the wheel lock key, and I lost it. So I'm screwed. I need to put an air thing here. That's not good. An air cap. So typically from factory, there's only one wheel lock bolt, and they can sometimes, you don't have the key, mash it off there with the air gun. But they do not. They're for all of them now. The aftermarket one. And I just hate wheel keys. If you don't live in a dangerous city where your wheels are getting stolen, you don't need them. They're very inconvenient when you need to change the wheels. All right. Wait, by the way, I really like looking at the taillight design. I really like what they did. I mean, they really, the design I think is, you know, it's nice looking, especially from the rear end. There's no exhaust tips. It's a hybrid. That sucks. But the front end can be, you know, that's subjective if you like the front end or not. But overall, I think it's they did a pretty good job. I mean, this part is kind of fat and bulging out, and the eyes, the taillights, I mean, sorry, the headlights, triple beam headlights, they're pretty good at nighttime. So, but they eased up on the grill a little bit. It's not the best looking car in the world, but it's okay. You know, it's all right. Some people might not like it, but it's fine. So, looking at the second row, I'm so sorry. There's a whole bunch of just crap here. These are the original factory wheels. These are all seasons. I need to change them, but I lost the lugs. Anyways, yeah, the beautiful red interior. I have another version of this car I will make a review on soon. Exactly like this car, I'm gonna review soon. Just different color outside. We're gonna, and same color interior. So we're gonna do a review on that soon. I'm going to. So you have this really nice material here. This is a soft touch plastic. You know, not the best, but it's okay. Red leather stitching, and then soft touch plastic here, and I had fisheye mirrors here, but they blocked up the blind spot thing, so I removed them. Same thing here, soft touch plastic, kind of a plastic or fake leather wrapped steering wheel. The GLS and GLE Mercedes do not have these things. They're just a scratchy plastic most of the time. I think even if you option them out, there's still scratchy plastic on the wheel and the center storage cubby, the side storage cubby, so the door storage. And then these are, I think, dealer or factory side moldings are optional. Roof rails, which I don't like roof rails. They're barely used, but it's okay. This one's kind of blacked out and not that visible. Yeah, so premium fuel, if you're going to, you can put it in here, but I think like a V8 is something more proud to put premium fuel in. You feel good doing it, and you're not going to be paying $20 extra every time you fill the car up. The Acura MDX Type S gets bad fuel economy, close to like a V8 German car and fuel economy numbers, but this car, you know, that has a V6, and that also requires premium fuel, apparently, a turbo V6. So we're gonna compare it to the Germans, to the rivals, Japanese rivals, the Koreans. We're gonna do all that. I want to say from the cars I've personally driven what I think this car does good and bad. So let's hop in the interior. All right, it's a nice place to be. You know, the screen, they put a 14-inch screen in here for this year. I think it's proper, but the technology doesn't work, and I want to discuss that right now. Starting up the vehicle. Seat memory right here, 1, 2, 3, for you and your loved one to change seat positions. When you're going at slow speeds, I want to show you real quick. We're going to put it in drive, and how the transmission works is, let's say it's in drive and you turn it off, it will park the car. You don't have to be, because it's a electronic, kind of takes a while to turn on. It takes 20 seconds a lot of times. So these climate control vents, they are kind of finicky. They're sensitive, they like to change a lot. I like the ones, I was in a Silverado EV, and they felt really good and notchy and had a good knob feel to them. You can do exactly the temperature you wanted, and it was nice. These are a little bit more your sport drive mode, which is gonna give you a more aggressive transmission tuning, so you can really get off the line. It does the shifts when you need a downshift to get more power going out. It's honestly, this is a 6-speed automatic transmission. I'm sorry, I forgot to mention it. 6-speed automatic transmission is really, I think, max seat, max cool, which is a pretty interesting shortcut. There's a power outlet in the trunk. It's a 150 volt or 1500 watt. You can just plug in like a regular AC outlet. Heads-up display, I don't know if you can see it, but I hope my camera is well positioned so you can see everything. If it's not, I apologize. Yeah, the heads-up display is, I was in the 21 BMW X6, and the Apple CarPlay was really much better resolution. It was a higher quality resolution as far as the words, the images, and also was more responsive. But this is still not bad with, you know, at all. It's just you know, something to note. You can not connect to the car. I've had this issue since the first 2 weeks of ownership of this vehicle. It's extremely frustrating because, I'm sorry, I don't mean to sound like a jerk or anything, but when you want your phone to connect and you want it to work with Bluetooth and CarPlay, and it won't work with Bluetooth either sometimes. You'll turn it on, the car, you'll drive, you know, even a minute later, you're waiting for it to connect and it doesn't connect. And then if you go in the infotainment, this is a shortcut if you want to go in the infotainment, but I like to keep it full screen like that. So we can go Lexus app, right? If you go into Bluetooth devices and you try to connect your phone, CarPlay, media, it will not connect, it won't read it. And you're probably thinking, Edgar, it's a problem with your phone. It's not, because I've tried in other vehicles and it's worked fine. We also have a 25 RX 350h. I know with new refresh models or redesigns, the technology, they need software updates. They need to be changed year after year, so they'll be more faster responding. They'll have less bugs and issues they'll tweak out in the next model year, right? That's how typically how it goes with the first redesign of a new car. So the 25 I tried, and the Apple CarPlay was connecting faster and more consistently for a little bit. It was, and then it went back to being like this car, how it never connects. And I had the same problem back to back in both of those cars. In a BMW X6 or even X5 2021, I was in that car, you press the start button, your Apple CarPlay goes on the screen in 8 seconds. It always connects your phone. This car, I swear, it's happened 50 times. My phone's never connected. I've tried everything. I've tried deleting the device, re-adding it. It's very frustrating. So if you use navigation a lot or listen to a lot of Bluetooth music, or even you just like being in CarPlay, you're really gonna have to decide if you might as well just go with a turbo inline 6 from the Germans and get a lightly used German car, because I think for me it's a big deal, and it's just very frustrating. I wish Lexus and just even Japanese companies can just get the technology right. Now, another thing that's so frustrating is these touchpads. Lexus can't get away from touchpads. I'm not sure what it is. I like Toyota and Lexus and what they stand for, but sometimes, like all car brands and certain models, they mess up. The touchpad right here, the only positive thing is when you have a track going, you see what track is in the heads-up display. If you skip the song, you'll see what track's about to play next. You don't have to look down here as you're driving, so it's really nice, a nice thing to have. However, these touch controls to skip the track, they're not physical, meaning if I press it once, it does not go. And I'm telling you, there's no music playing right now, but I'm telling you, if there's music playing, I've tried it a lot of times. You press it once, it won't read. You need to slide your finger on the track selector where it's selected now, and then you can push in. You need to do like this, select it like it's a touchpad, like it's your mouse or something, like a laptop. You need to slide it, and then there. They can't get rid of they can't get away from touchpads. They have some affection towards it. I don't know why. It's just they're changing things that shouldn't need to be changed, and it's really frustrating. I mean, just to keep a physical track selection thing. And in the RX 350, I've seen in some models they have a physical track selector down here, or maybe down here, and it's actually that's good. And in some models I've seen that, which is strange, but not all of them. A lot of them are actually like this track touchpad thing here. Even in, like I said, the Audi products, it is a physical button to change the track. It's unfortunate, it's frustrating. And another thing is, since the touchpad, it's sensitive to where you touch it. So if you go more, I hope you can see the heads-up display. You can see previous seek, and it doesn't let you do much. See, all these controls, I'm telling you right now, they should all be in the infotainment. They shouldn't be here. This whole concept shouldn't exist. I've thought about, oh, maybe they did it because of this and that. This cruise control mode, like, they should have made a shortcut to those things, because so many things are already in the screen. The climate control, everything. This doesn't need to be on the steering wheel now. You're paying $70-something thousand, and these things, its technology doesn't work, and a little bit frustrates you. It's whatever, but I mean, it isn't whatever. But I'm just saying, sorry, I'm not trying to sound spoiled. This is a fantastic, nice place to be. It's a good car to drive. It's very actually fun to drive when you're driving it. You know, hard or fast. It's nice. But I will say, you know, I want to help you make the best decision for your money, and hopefully my insights and all those things really, from living with the car, it can help you with your decision on your next vehicle. So the cruise control works really well. It's adaptive cruise control. It'll brake for you and slow down if there's a car ahead. I haven't had issues. It's a nice system. Lane tracing assist is pretty aggressive, and it beeps at you, and I'm not a huge fan. I keep that off, actually. Adaptive cruise mode is pretty good though, and it won't change lanes for you automatically. I'm 90% sure. I've never found anything like that in here. I've looked for it, and it's not in here. So I should have fact checked it. So I'm pretty sure it's not there. USB-C, which is very nice to have, because now the iPhones like that. Looking in the center storage, no charging ports or anything. It's just a nice felt line. This car has 4.5-degree rear-wheel steering, which is a wonderful thing to have. I mean, maneuvering in parking lots, your turning radius is cut by a huge amount. You really can turn in sharply and in a short radius now. And even when you're doing U-turns, You know, you went the wrong turn, you have to turn around. It's really convenient and nice to have, so you're not going to curb rash your wheels and hit the curb when you're trying to make a turn. I'll demonstrate that now. Also, I love this physical button for the camera. When you push it, you can see if you're going to come close to the curb or if you can make it. It's really nice to have. It's a physical button that's right there. I really appreciate that. This car also has self-parking, which this is an option with, and a digital rear view mirror, which even a Porsche Cayenne doesn't have a digital rear view mirror. You can spec that thing out to 240 grand, you won't get this. That a lot of GM cars and a lot of other vehicles have. I appreciate digital rear view mirror. You have a lot of people in the back, you can't see, their heads are in the way. This is a great thing to have. It's nice. Get a camera in the back. This year for this RX, I believe in 25 they introduced a rear backup camera washer, which you have live in a dirt road or it's snowing or anything, rain, and it washes it for you. That's great, but this one doesn't have it. They introduced it in 25. The 350h that we have also has it, so it's a nice thing to have. They just didn't have it here. You have 360 camera, which is nice. Nice 360 cam. Decent resolution, not bad. Not extremely high quality, but it's not terrible. I wanted to show, I guess I can show the self-parking thing real quick. Let's go ahead and demonstrate that very quickly. Alright, so, oh, nope, okay, I'm going to put it, no available parking space. So, you push this button here, let's try again, put it to stop. Alright, I'm sorry, I don't know what's going on. Usually it works, but I never use the self-parking feature. It's more of a gimmick. You're never going to use it. I just, it's not 100% accurate, and it's, you know, I don't use it, me personally. This already has a lot of great parking technology, and it's more of a, maybe of a gimmick, I think, in my opinion. So, let's go ahead, and we'll take this thing out for a spin. Driving this, it is very, the steering is kind of light, which I enjoy. I got an oil change in this vehicle, full synthetic, so I just need to reset it in the settings, which that's kind of a headache to do. A little bit, you have to go into a lot of menus. Am I in? No, it's sport mode. So I want to show the gear position. You can change it with the here, one sec. You can change it like so. Display. Gear position. You have to press the touchpad, and this is for more options, these two controls here. Driving support, G-force meter, boost gauge for the turbo, navigation, audio, EV driving ratio. This does not have self-regenerative braking like a traditional hybrid. Just want to let you know. It's not going away now, that message. Oh, we gotta change it up to gear position. Fuel consumption, 24 miles to the gallon. It's not terrible. Let's go back to the gear select, or the gear viewer, because I think it's very nice to see how the transmission reacts. 3, 2, and the in sport mode, transmission tuning is, I think, just right, and it still consists of a nice plush ride, in my opinion. This has adaptive dampers, which is really nice. It helps the ride quality a lot. It's not just for a sporty manner, which I appreciate. My 350h that we have, the 25, it does not have adaptive dampers, and you definitely notice the difference in ride quality. It's a little bit more harsher over bumps and broken pavement. This is pretty, it's not extremely soft, but it's I think what it should be. Honestly, it's actually really nice. It just kind of filters out those bumps. It filters them out, and I appreciate that, me personally. So you're not going to be disappointed with the ride quality in this car at all. So, you know, because a lot of cars, they might drive rough if they're sporty, and it's you know, it has luxurious interior, but the ride quality is just horrendous, and that's not what you want at all. So rear wheel steer around curvy roads, helps you get around corners. This has so much pep to it. I really enjoy driving it. This platform is just right. The powertrain is right. The hybrid electric motors fill in that torque when you go off the line. Sorry, the turbo lag. They fill in the turbo lag and gives you some torque, and it's really nice to drive. I mean, compared, I had a X5 with a turbo inline 6, the B58 engine from BMW that everyone loves, and that car is just not it, in my opinion, as far as fun driving. I mean, it's okay, it's not bad, it is quick on its toes, but I think the platform is too big, and that was made for, you know, it's kind of a compromise thing, right? The Lexus RX is competing with the X5 and GLE. Those other two-row SUVs, they're in different markets. They don't offer a twin-turbo V8. They're playing in different markets, right? They offer hybrids and more affordable products, where the Germans, they'll go up into hundreds of thousands of dollars. And those platforms, those cars, they're trying to make it a one shoe fits all sort of thing, with different engines, different things like that. Which is, well, you know, it's okay, it's whatever, it can work sometimes. But the X5, I driven it. This car is much more fun and engaging, in my opinion. It really is. Not only the rear wheel steer, forgetting that, but just the torque comes on so early, and it's really more, I hate to say it because it's a hybrid, but it's kind of more theatrical. Not theatrical is not the word, I apologize. It's more like, it feels light, not only light on its toes, but it feels more sporty. It feels like it just has that sportiness, that sharp and quickness of that acceleration that the X5 is missing. I mean, these cars, you know, you're not gonna get a Canyon Carver SUV for this kind of price. Even with the rear-wheel drive architecture that the Germans have, you know, this car, it's fun to drive for an SUV, and I will give Lexus that. They did a really nice job with that. I prefer this over a GLE or a X5 from a driving experience point of view. I mean, it's fun. So, but you know, another thing that the Germans do, well, let me think here for a second. In 2025, they had a full screen digital display. This is not a full screen one. It's just kind of almost a quarter of it is digital. These two things these two things are physical, and then the middle part is a digital screen. So I make a right turn here and give gas right up the line. It gets off so quickly on its toes. I really like this car. This has so much pep to it. It feels good to drive. It feels better than X5 with a turbo inline-6. That car, not even comparing to this one, but it was missing something. It felt too big and truck-like to drive the BMW X5. Something didn't feel right about driving that car. I mean, it wasn't bad. It was still, you know, decently quick and fun, and I did kind of enjoy it, but not nearly as much as this car. I think this is a lot better. I really think so. Now, you hear the inline-4 whine. It's kind of not as bad as something that's obviously naturally aspirated, or maybe even that's just turbocharged, because it has the hybrid motors. But I mean, you know, it's not great. It doesn't add a luxury experience when you hear the engine go, because that's what inline-4s, you know, do. Gosh, this GoPro is like boiling on my head. Oh no. The Acura MDX Type S, this car has no massaging seats for the price point, and the Acura is a few grand more than this car, maybe 4 grand more. However, this vehicle has and I think the massaging seats would have been a nice addition to add. The massaging seats in Acura MDX Type S was absolutely fantastic. One of the best I've ever felt. Much better than BMW by a long shot. I mean, those seats, they had everything about the Acura massaging seats are absolutely fantastic. I mean, they're really good. And the BMW is just a complete gimmick, and the X6 and X5. This GoPro is getting really hot in my head. I really don't like it. I was in Florida a while back, and it was overheating. I couldn't record, unfortunately, so. You can buy this car lightly used now for $50K almost, and that's a really great used deal. I mean, my brother, he did exactly that, and it's been good for him. I think it's a really good buy for that price. But I will say, for $50K, if you really value the technology and it working and connecting properly, just get something from the Germans. Seriously, I mean, you even get a rear-wheel drive architecture they don't get with this. But I believe with the electric motor in the back, this can possibly go more. It can engage the rear wheels as well, so I can kind of feel rear wheel. But it's mostly on a front-wheel drive platform, like the Acura. This is not full-time all-wheel drive, which sucks, but it's on demand. The Germans are full-time, so, you know, I guess that's kind of nice to have too. I'm so sorry. Pretty much, this car is good besides everything else I mentioned. There's probably a couple things I'm forgetting, which I apologize, but most of the things are all set. This is kind of a rubbery material. I think in 25 they changed it to leather, or maybe for the F Sport this is only this plastic rubbery feel. Yeah, just absolutely so quick. I mean, if you had a teenager, I would not give them this car. It seems silly, but this car is actually very quick. I would give them just a hybrid to start off with, or like a V6 or something like that, so they can learn how to drive safely first. So at $71,000, this car should have been optioned with the Mark Levinson. You're already paying so much for a vehicle like this. Get it fully loaded. I think the Mark Levinson was a couple of grand more, but it's worth it. I mean, you're paying this much for it, you might as well. So I think it was a bad mistake. This audio system is just okay. I don't think it's that special or anything like that. It's not great. It's just fine. I really think though the Mark Levinson is worth the upgrade. This car's acoustic glass is double painted, like a lot of Lexus products and some even Toyotas. It's not as quiet as you would think. It is quiet, but on the freeway there's a lot of wind noise, and I think the noise floor of this car is just maybe not all that great. So it's not very quiet as you would think. I was in an Audi Q8, and that was just ridiculously quiet, whisper quiet. So even an X5 or GLE, those are also decently quiet, maybe a little more than this, but those weren't like the Audi Q8. If you're trying to change the track and you have fingers on here, it won't change it because it thinks you're touching here. It's annoying. You also have a panoramic. You also have a panoramic sunroof. Oh, don't open. But yeah, it's a full panoramic sunroof. There's a bar over there. That's about it. Something X6 doesn't even have is a center speaker. Two, what are those considered? Tweeters or A-pillar speakers? You have a mid bass down here. Now, I know it's a ridiculous example, but I want to compare this ride, how it rides and how it kind of goes along a road to the Porsche Cayenne. The Porsche Cayenne is leagues above this. Maybe not leagues, but, well, I don't know. I guess it's debatable, but it is completely different on how it drives and rides on the road. It's a lot more. It's a better experience. This isn't bad, but if you get out of both of those cars back to back, you would take the Cayenne. The engineering is just better than this, and even the X5 or GLE or Q8. I think it's one of the best riding tour SUVs. Really, I mean, it is. But you have to pay the price for that. I mean, even finding a used deal on that, finding used German cars with all the options you want is really difficult. The Japanese, they don't go crazy with options, so it's possible to find what you want. But for a German car, it's a little bit tough to find a used buy like that. But it's out there. I'm sure you can get. You don't get as much theatrics with an exhaust note and all those things. It's unfortunate. It gives you more of a luxury experience, you know, having a V8. It's like more torque, more horsepower. It's when you hit the gas, it's just the ease of comfort. You can go easily, you can have passing power, and just it's nice and easy to move the car. It's great. That's kind of a luxury that goes almost hand in hand. I'm not saying having a sporty car is luxury, but it's similar, and that's what's nice to have a big engine that can get out of its own way. This car, it kind of simulates being a V8. With the hybrid electric motors, it gives it more power and punch, and with the turbo 9.4, it's a nice combination. I appreciate that Lexus, what they did there. You know, you don't see a traditional hybrid setup that's not a plug-in hybrid, but you can just fill it up with gas regularly, and the hybrid batteries are just for that extra power to help the turbo 4, which is really nice. Now, like I said, I don't like the inline 4. I'm not a fan of it. I think the MDX Type S, the V6, there's something about a V6, even if it's not a V8, that just has more of a smooth sound. If you really wind this car out, you hear the four cylinder yell a little bit. It's not as bad as like a 350h, which is natural aspirated, but you hear it. You know it's a 4-cylinder if you push it hard. Not all the time, but you hear it, that kind of a loud noise, and there is piped in engine noise from the speakers. It's unfortunate. I mean, I guess they do it for the theatrics maybe, but I'm not sure. Help with that. And when you gas this thing, the torque comes on so early, and it's actually really fun and wonderful to drive. I will drive and it doesn't connect at all, and I'll try to connect it manually from the settings of my Bluetooth, my phone, and it won't connect. Even Bluetooth, it won't connect. This isn't an issue with just this car. The 25 also had that issue, and I thought it was an issue with my phone. I tried removing the device, re-adding it. I tried a lot of things, and it would not connect. The BMW X6, even if you get a used one with the old, I believe it's iDrive 8, you push the start button on that car, 8 seconds later the CarPlay turns on the screen. Your music's playing, everything is there. If you use CarPlay a lot and that's important to you, you're looking for navigation, maps, you're going new places, you need navigation, and you want, you're listening to your own music on Bluetooth or CarPlay is really important for you, then go with something from the Germans that's lightly used, from like 21 or like 22 or 23. I mean, that's really, I think, the better option, because this is so much more fun to drive than a turbo inline 6 from BMW, the B58 engine. People want to praise that engine and say it's so great. I've driven the B58 and the X5, and I thought that platform, the whole X5, maybe the engine's decent, maybe it is, right? But me personally, not only did I think it wasn't anything that extremely special, I mean, it's fast, it's quick, it gets decent MPG, I believe it's like 25. However, that car and the engine, the torque comes on so much more earlier. This platform is both a tourer SUV with almost similar interior sizes roughly, and this when you drive this car, it feels lighter on its feet, it feels just quicker, and then like I said, the torque comes on so early that it just makes it more fun and enjoyable.